Hi
You guys
everyone,
get
welcome
that
back to another production meeting. Um, Sorry about the pause, that was just a little weird. Now, we're saying this is recording, so now we're recording. How's everyone?
That
Good.
caught me off guard, man. I don't know. That's never
I-
happened before.
I was gonna say
Never
I
had
that
me before.
it was recording has commenced or whatever it said.
we record these?
Yeah.
Ryan's
Wait,
like,
I
thought we were
never
having a
knew that.
conversation. Yeah.
But it
I
gave me the
have
opportunity to leave. I almost went, all right, I'm out of here, guys. I do not consent to being recorded.
no, I got every signature that I needed. What'd you guys do this week?
Absolutely
first.
nothing. You said you wanted to go first?
No, I said you guys go first.
Oh. I didn't really watch much aside from this movie. I did come across about 4 or 5 days ago a really interesting Reddit thread that was what's one movie that you recommend to people to watch, but you never want to watch again? And I thought it was a really interesting thread. And I looked through it, and the only other one that I remember, they said one of the top ones was Hotel Rwanda, which I understand that. I enjoy Hotel Rwanda, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it again because it's kind of depressing. But the number one in the thread was this Russian movie called Come and See.
Oh,
And,
yeah, it's in my collection.
And I had never seen it before. I'd actually never heard of it before, which is interesting because I was a film grad, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me pull this up. So I had to actually subscribe to the Criterion channel app, and it's on there. And let me tell you, this is some depressing film. It's super interesting. It's so anti-war. You go in, and every time. It's basically about this kid who gets recruited into the army to go fight the Germans, and this is in Russia, and it seems like it's going to be like one of those fun war movies every now and then. It's this kid, coming up, going to fight, and, there's going to be violence and blood. But every time you think something it's getting classically entertaining, it's super depressing. Something super bad happens all the time. And it's really interesting to watch, to see. But man, there is some depressing filming in this film. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure they literally blow up a cow. So, that was intense. I recommend it, just like the thread. I recommend watching it. I don't want to give anything away. It is Russian, and it is a tough watch, but it's definitely good. And if you like close-ups of people's faces and then looking directly into your soul as they talk, perfect film.
What was it called? Come and Seek or something?
No, Come and See.
Come and See.
How old is this film?
It's from 1985, I think. So
okay.
It's 35 years old.
Right.
So
Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, I love Requiem for a Dream. I could watch that all the time.
No.
I have concerns.
Exactly. Many concerns, many questions.
Gosh, I don't know what I would say to that.
Yeah.
The first movie that came to mind, it was one of I don't know if this follows that criteria, but it was Pieces of a Woman we just recently did, and I was that was one I was is such a good film that I would never ever 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 recommend to anybody ever. I don't know if that fits.
No, it has to be a film that you recommend people watch, but you never want to see again.
Oh, I'll come back to. I'll circle around back to that one. I have to think about that.
I'm gonna see if I can Google this Reddit thread right quick just to see if someone wants to continue. Also, I also watched the Jets win the first series of the playoffs, and the last game was triple overtime. It was over at 2 a.m. It was stressful. I had to close my eyes every time the other team had the puck, but it was a good time because we won. So yay.
Sports are dumb. I hate watching sports. All my teams get in the playoffs with losing records, and then I get my hopes up and they lose, and I hate everything. So that's my sports spiel.
Sorry, I didn't mean to rub it in your face. Alex.
Okay.
I totally forgot the Wizards sort of played today.
Yeah, they attended a game. But anyway, what did I do this week? I watched 1.5 movies. I tried to go backtrack. I wasn't in attendance for last week's episode because of scheduling, and I didn't get to watch any of that other stuff.
Wait,
I tried to watch what?
wait, you weren't here last week?
Yeah, man. Oh, thanks for putting that cardboard cutout of me.
He didn't consent to being recorded last week, so
okay,
decided
right.
not to show up.
That's right, man. I got my contract this week, so I'm good. No, I tried to watch what is it? Woman in the Window. Psh, man, that thing's whacked out. It's so bizarre. That movie, I can give you my review. It's so like trying to make something so epic out of such a mundane activity of, ooh, let's watch these people across the street. Now, I mean, and we mentioned this before, that it's a Rear Window ripoff that's drug induced and substance abuse. The score is weird in that it tries to make it look and feel so epic. Yeah, that movie was dumb. I got to the last 40 minutes and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm over this. And then I watched the Homework. I started playing, moved on from one really, really long game to the next. I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla finally, and started playing that for like 2 days. And I'm like, man, I'm making great progress on this. And the title comes up, and I'm like, what? This game is that long? I looked at the platinum time for this, and it's 120 hours on average time, and I'm like, crap. So this is gonna probably take me till October if I'm skipping a bunch of skipping and going to other games. So that's what I did this week. I don't think I played anything else. That's about it.
Cool. Ryan?
Not too much other than the Homework. I watched the first Ip Man because I am very behind as far as that series goes, and I think it's the most overrated martial arts film I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, okay.
What's it called? Ip Man?
Yeah, with Donnie Yen. First
I
one's got
never heard of it.
like a solid 8.0 on IMDb, but critics aren't huge on it. I wasn't big on it, but I own all 4, so I'll watch the other 3.
I'm sure they get better, Ryan. I'm sure.
The critical consensus does seem to get better. It goes like 1-4-2 or 3-2 or something like that. So yeah, looking forward to it. In reverse order. So yeah, not terribly busy week for me.
Cool. Well, while you guys were doing that, I had some classwork to do, so I watched In the Heat of the Night, 1967 version. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Best Picture winner.
Mm-hmm. Do the Right Thing, which still like that ending. Just I don't know. It was a little weird. Like why are we destroying the pizzeria? But whatever. And then I like Love, Death, and Robots. Have you guys seen this on Netflix?
I mean, I've seen it. I haven't watched it.
I watched a good chunk of the first season, but
it was so gripping he had to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I will say like the animation, because it's computer animated. Well, some of it's traditional animation too. So yeah, I'm like 6 or 7 episodes into like the first volume, and I guess it's this like animated anthology series, and there's just like 15-minute stories, and they're really kind of like beautifully animated. But then like the stories are so weird. Like there was one that like the yogurt like takes over and becomes like a sentient being. Yeah, it was. I was like, okay. And then it had the voice of the brain from Animaniacs, and I was like,
wait,
okay.
Maybe I did watch. I feel like that sounds very familiar to me. So this isn't. It's Ryan. You said this is a season 2 then, so it's not just a new thing. This is season 2 came out or something.
Yeah,
recently.
Season 2. Yeah, season 2 came out.
Okay.
A few weeks ago.
Maybe I did watch season 1, and as Ryan said, it did not. I guess I didn't find it that gripping either. But I feel like I remember that yogurt thing.
I want to say that like the first season drops in 2019. Maybe
sounds about right.
Was there an episode with like monsters fighting or robots fighting. Like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, then I have definitely seen the first season of this.
Yeah, because it's like some girl there, it's like some underground fight club or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, launched in March of 2019. So that's the first season was March 2019, and then the second season just dropped like a few weeks ago. And then there was like one of like with Topher Grace, and it was like a live action, but like their fridge has like a whole like community or like ecosystem inside of it. So bizarre. I don't know why I keep watching this.
Stop smoking that. Never mind.
Yeah, that was it. So you guys ready for some news?
Yeah.
Big news. Big news. Amazon bought MGM. $9 billion. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's the biggest thing of it, not the acquisition itself, but how, I don't know, would you consider $9 billion cheap in this?
Chump change.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty remarkably low number.
Bezos just wrote a check, $9 billion. There you go.
He goes, I got that in my that's my walking around money. Gosh, I mean, yeah, that's a huge acquisition.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you, Alex, because it's like Disney bought Fox for like $75 billion. And this is like the James Bond films, I guess the new Creed films, the Rocky films, like some other random stuff that they have.
I think I feel like the Disney purchase was more about the actual properties as opposed to like the catalog. It's like, we want to make more movies of this property. So they're like, give me all your stuff, Fox. And they're like, Disney's not scrambling about to make new Bond films or whatever else MGM has, or Creed. Let me make more Creed boxing movies. I don't really think Disney cares too much about that. You're not going to see a Creed land in Orlando anytime soon.
Just give it time, man. Because I was reading before that maybe this is not news to you guys, but back in like 2016, Disney was trying to buy Warner Brothers. I don't remember this, and maybe it's just a rumor, but I read that and I was like, yeah, it's just a matter of time. But I agree, Matt. I don't think it's more to expand on what they have established, and the properties under Fox definitely help do that. And yeah, they're not, you don't think James Bond when or you don't think Disney when you think of James Bond, so they don't really are after those properties and those franchises. So yeah, I think it makes sense. And but it also segues into I don't think this deal affects any hopeful theatrical releases. Like they're not going to go straight to to streaming with a lot of this stuff. It's all got windows. Like we're all going to go to the 90-day release windows, even if that long. So for theatrical releases. So it'll be interesting going forward exactly what happens, but it won't affect it in that regard.
I have a funny feeling that here pretty soon all the Bond movies are going to be on Prime.
Just a suspicion. I wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah, but future Bond movies, I think Creed is supposed to come out next year around Thanksgiving time, or whatever. So yeah, it doesn't affect any of the theatrical windows. All right, so some trailers dropped this week. Did we watch any of them?
Yes, I finally did. I was like, you know what? I'm going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to watch these trailers.
I watched the Eternals trailer. I did watch that.
I watched I watched that.
But I'm still staying away from Soho. I'm staying away as much as I want to watch that trailer, but I have not.
I also did not watch that trailer because I forgot about it.
It's a very interesting trailer. Okay, so let's talk Eternals. This is teaser. Well, I shouldn't say teaser, but it's 2-minute teaser. It doesn't really give away any of the plot. Just kind of like showcases what Chloe Zhao is filming. Looks kind of like Nomadland. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of landscape and people grouped together.
Mhm.
But it is a good trailer. I thought it was pretty interesting.
I don't think it's bad. It's a bad trailer, but I think I was just thrown off because I don't remember all the casting, and there were so many Game of Thrones people in there that I did not know of, and I was just like, this feels like Game of Thrones with superpowers. So I was like, I didn't know how to feel. So I'm giving my review of that trailer an NA because I don't know where my emotions are. But yeah.
I would say by. Go ahead, man.
I was just saying, yeah, watching the trailer, I didn't really get too much from it, so I like that because I still don't know where they're going with this movie. And albeit all the Game of Thrones casting aside, there were a lot of characters in this film.
Mhm.
There are a lot of new people, so I'm excited for the newness of it all. And yeah, I guess it did kind of look like a little like Nomadland, just color wise. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we won't see Frances McDormand, walking around rocks aimlessly.
Oh man, is that
Ew.
Dwayne Johnson?
It's The Rock.
Uh,
No way.
what was the other trailer?
The other
The
one
Tomorrow
was,
War.
Yeah, Tomorrow War.
I did watch that one. I felt like that one was like all the good stuff is probably in the trailer, and I will probably go see this, but I am going to think that this is going to be absolutely disappointing because everything that was good was already shown, and that there's really no substance to this. That's my personal take. I hope I'm wrong. Chris Pratt, you're a gem, and I want you to do well, but I don't expect much from this.
It's like Independence Day.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that because you'd mentioned, yeah, what's with them releasing these on 4th of July or having them around 4th of July? It's like, okay,
But this one has time travel, and we've never seen a big action movie with time travel before. No, nothing like
What?
that. Nothing else like that with its June release date, June July-esque release date with somebody going back to stop aliens or going forward to stop aliens or something like that. It's fine. It's totally new.
that's totally a foreign idea. You're right.
But if Tom Cruise shows up, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Edge of Tomorrowland or Tomorrow War.
That's
Nice.
a whole other series I want now. Tom Cruise and George Clooney show up, I'll give it a 9.
Ugh. I'm out.
Tomorrowland.
That's where they're just around the borders. Everybody's in line. Oh man, Edge of Tomorrowland. I'm almost there. I get to ride a Space Mountain.
Yeah, I watched that trailer like how long have we been recording? I don't know. 5 minutes before we started recording. And it's just like I could have told you everything that happens in that movie from the title of the movie.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Self-aware humor does not save your boring premise.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, I love Chris Pratt, but when it comes to his blockbuster work post Guardians, he's got some interesting choices that aren't necessarily the best of movies, and they don't always do the best at the box office, no matter how many A-listers you have in them.
How dare you throw shade on Passengers?
I specifically was throwing shade on Passengers. I hate that movie.
It's so creepy. So creepy.
I've
It's
only
so
seen
bland.
bits and pieces from passing in the actual theater. I've never put that entire film's plot together, so I have to sit down and watch that.
Do you hate yourself?
Well, it's one of those tests of endurance. I just want to see if I can. Like Woman in the Window. I couldn't.
That's fair. That's definitely a lower bar than Passengers.
Yeah. It's like Stalker.
Passengers at least doesn't become 3 different movies; only becomes 2 different movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
That does become like that.
This is Last Night of Soho. I thought it was look good. Edgar Wright. The editing of the trailer looks pretty good, and he looks visually it looks pretty good.
All
Doesn't
I
really give
saw,
much away.
yeah, all I saw regarding that trailer is apparently Jordan Peele actually retweeted the trailer and said that Edgar Wright always delivers. And I was like, dang, you're getting praise from Jordan Peele here.
Yeah.
He's right
good.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. So Aaron Taylor Johnson is coming back to Marvel in a different way. He's been cast as Kraven the Hunter in a solo Sony Marvel film. Yeah, cool. All right.
Woo! I love Sony's solo films so far.
Yeah. That's why I'm giving this news a B. I love the casting. I think it's a good casting, but like, Aaron, just come back to the regular MCU, buddy. Just come back. It's okay. So yeah, because this is going to be from Richard Wenk. He's the writer of the Equalizer films and the Magnificent Seven, and directed by J.C. Chandor. I don't know. He did a Most Violent Year, and the Netflix film Triple Frontier.
Most Violent Year is pretty great, but nobody saw it, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's fair. I don't even know if it got a full theatrical release, but
probably not. It's from A24, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain, yeah.
So what do you guys think about this casting?
It's I think I have the same thoughts as you. It's a B. It's solid.
Yeah.
Wait to see what happens.
I'm a fan of Mr. Johnson, so let's see what happens. Let's see if he can deliver.
Yeah, man. Moving on. Evil Dead 4 is coming to HBO Max. Cool. I didn't realize. I don't know why this is not getting a theatrical release.
Did you say Evil Dead 4?
Yeah, I was gonna say when I shared this with you, I was like, "Are they still making these? Is this still a thing?"
Canonically, does it follow Ash vs. Evil Dead? Because I'm not finished with that yet.
Oh, I hope not. I haven't even seen that. So
wait, so does this have Bruce Campbell in it?
Yes.
Okay.
How can it not?
He's
producing the movie, I believe.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
He's evil. I mean, he's Ash. I mean, I've all seen them all.
Alex, you have homework.
No, I have too much homework.
You guys have just 2 and 3. That's all.
You guys have watched exponentially more projects than me. So.
Well, yeah, because it's essentially 2 is like a remake of the first one. So
I personally like the first one, but that's just my personal taste.
It is very like depending on what you want in a movie. Stop phone. I'm not talking to you. But I mean, it's very much what you want in a horror movie. But Alex, if you're doing it just to catch up, you can start with the second one.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's anything critical in the first one that you need for the second one.
Yeah,
all your world building pretty much starts in the second movie.
And then go watch the remake.
Which is so good. Humorless.
No matter what Ryan gives me that look, it's a good film.
So dull and colorless, and it's not scary. People are like, "Oh, the jump scares are so good," and they're not.
Does Sam Raimi direct any of them / all of them?
I think he did the remake too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I blame Evil Dead for. Oh, that's why it's not good.
He didn't do the remake.
He did not.
The director of Don't Breathe.
I like that movie. Freaking Evil Dead, the remake, pioneered the let's look at something and have it jump at you and call that a jump scare trope.
Boo.
Oh man, I just made a movie.
You did. Speaking of horror movies, Hellraiser is getting a remake that's going exclusively to Hulu. Not sure why we need this. But
I shared that with you, thinking the same thing. Is this one of those? Do we need this?
I'm surprised it doesn't already have 2 remakes. a reboot and a sequel, and then a reboot again. But the reboot this time is the second one from the original.
Mhm.
This one's gonna what? Take out the last three, whatever.
I get Child's Play vibes from this, where probably there's a decent amount of people that want to see this. Maybe, I don't know about that, but it's probably going to be okay and not really worth the effort of making it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna suck. I'm just gonna say it right now.
I
It's gonna
know.
suck.
I'm basically saying that, just kind of saying it all PC like, and you're like, this is gonna suck.
I mean, the first Hellraiser isn't that great anyway.
No.
So yeah, it's gonna suck. Much like that Child's Play remake sucked.
Oh, with Mark Hamill?
I mean, yeah, with Mark Hamill. The
Yeah.
doll is atrocious and it sucked. So bad.
Isn't this one like CGI? I didn't even see it.
Partly.
Partly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't there supposed to be a Child's Play TV show at some point?
Chucky
An
the
animated
series.
one?
Nope.
Not an animated one.
Why hasn't that come out yet? When does that release? This is gonna bug me now.
All right.
It's going to tear your soul apart?
It will.
Always a joke there.
There you
I haven't seen it.
go. Well, while Maddie's doing that, so we got some gaming news. Well, sort of. Portal movie is in development with J.J. Abrams still. I didn't even know that there was going to be a movie of Portal.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have high hopes for that with everybody involved and the subject matter at hand. A Portal movie sounds good to be like, hey, let's do that. But then when you think of like actually incorporating like a cinematic plot, I don't know if it blends together because it's truly just a puzzle game. So I don't know how you're going to do that exactly.
Hey, if you want to take a simple premise and stretch it to a movie, I think it works beautifully. I mean, Battleship did it.
Battleship did it.
That's the only one I had, but Battleship did it. And boy, is that a good movie.
I think we've talked about this before where they'll just release a bunch of board game movies. Oh man, Connect 4. Dude.
Well, we're gonna get that Monopoly movie eventually.
Eventually. It's just a
Isn't it
matter of
Wall
time.
Street?
I feel like we've had this conversation. I feel like I'm having deja vu.
Well,
We've
we
had
keep
this.
talking about J.J. Abrams too. Like week
Yeah.
to week, he's just working on different projects.
Yeah.
He never finishes anything, but he's always working on something.
Okay, yeah. Two things. One, he seems to love to like attach his name to something and be like, cool, I'm doing this. And they're like, are you directing? No. Are you writing? No.
Hey,
what are you
even
gonna
bad
do?
publicity is publicity.
I'm autographing stuff. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm putting my name on it. It's mine.
He told his
Okay.
secretary that he'll say yes to any project, and then hasn't taken any notes from that secretary.
Nick
We got a
Cage
whole
of
stack of
directors.
films. Be like, JJ, you've got to do something with these.
Which comes to my second part of my JJ rant this week. Did you guys read this article? He said that he regrets not planning out the sequel trilogy. What?
Yeah, I remember you sharing that
What?
with us.
Okay. Either one, keep that a secret. Like seriously. Don't admit to that. Just be like, company line, yeah, this is what I wanted. Or two, like just yeah, you probably should have done that to begin with.
Nah, man.
Well,
He was like, they just told me to launch it, man. All I did was had to make one movie, and I was just gonna let them figure it out. And by make one movie, I just, thought I'd kind of recreate New Hope a little bit.
I have 2 points to your 2 points. One, it's not like we didn't know it wasn't planned out. So him saying it just means he's on the same page as we are. And two, this is the guy who brought us Lost.
And checkmate. Thank you.
Paving the path he's walk on.
I want to go on record saying I adore Lost, but it is so obviously not planned out.
Yeah, you can figure that out by like the middle of the first season. So bizarre. Anyway, moving on. So State of Play, the PlayStation. What is this, Alex? I'm sorry.
So PlayStation has these at kind of random times throughout the year. They have a State of Play. They really focus on just kind of general games and accessories and services that they're going to be launching in the near future. But they tend to focus on one game in particular at a time. Like the previous one was more or less about the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart game, which is coming out in a couple weeks here. And then this one is about the Horizon sequel, Forbidden West, which we're, I think, going to get like our first actual look at like true gameplay and not just pre-rendered cinematics of the game. And I'm excited, but at the same time, we're at an age where we get way too much of something before it launches. That's why I've really not been showing and or looking at much of Ratchet and Clank. I mean, I know kind of what's going to happen with it, but I want to kind of go in fresh. And same thing with this. Like, I'm just like, if you want to watch it, I think the State of Play starts at noon tomorrow. In general, and then they're going to showcase the actual gameplay for Forbidden West at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to get in on that, it's an exciting game. I know I'm going to be a part of that. I'm going to get it day one, but I probably will limit how much of exposure I get to it. But it's really cool. I have high hopes for this game, as does everybody else.
Cool. All right. And then we're going to end on some sad news, like we always do. Samuel E. Wright, voice of Sebastian in Little Mermaid, has passed away.
How old was he? Did it say? Was he like 70, mid 70s?
I think he was like 80 something. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Look it up real quick.
I was like, I'll be honest, I'd never heard of the guy until today. Like, I didn't know who Sebastian was.
I always just thought he was a crab.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what it'll say on his tombstone, not just a crab.
Well, unless he gets a Viking funeral, then he'll be buried under the sea.
I can't seem to find it.
I'm gonna open my window now from that joke. It's okay, right? That's why we love you.
We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it.
We love you.
But yeah, he was in his 80s. I think he passed away from like cancer or something like that. So
yeah, rip Sebastian.
Yeah,
You're a
man.
good egg.
And that's news. Unless you guys got anything else.
Just a few casting notes. I don't think we mentioned it at last week, or I don't think it was
Knives Out too.
more. Well, yeah, actually, technically,
What?
Henry Cavill is to star in a Highlander reboot. If
Oh,
anyone's
yeah.
excited about that.
I am not. I'm going to say that right now. It's
I
The Witcher.
am.
It's The Witcher. Like, he's already cast as this. Like,
any other role where he can carry around a big sword, who cares? Who cares, man?
right.
Where we get Christopher Lambert to come back? No, man. Although he probably will cameo in this movie.
He probably will.
What else? The Knives Out 2 casting. Kate Hudson joined the cast.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
Still growing.
Still growing.
I read somewhere about how Tommy Wiseau was joking about how he wasn't casted for that. Like, what?
And then I think this is the last bit of casting news. Make sure. Timothy Chalamet is tapped to play Willy Wonka
right.
in the new origin tale from the director Paul King of Paddington and Paddington 2. So this is definitely going to be good.
It is. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Definitely,
Hopefully.
maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
As long as there's no Johnny Depp, I'm good.
Yeah, right. So to go along with random news, just random throwaway news. Did you guys hear that Lindsay Lohan is starring in a Christmas version
Yes.
of Overboard?
Yeah, that's weird. I was gonna throw that in for today, but I was like, okay.
Also-
That should be on there on your why do we need this?
Yeah, why I don't know why we need this. This is so dumb. And I'm trying to find it because I just seen it. Sandman.
That's another good
Bunch of
pun.
the cast of a bunch of
Snowboard.
Snowboard. That's a good title. Just tell Netflix that. The Netflix adaptation of the Sandman casts quite a few people this morning, including Patton Oswalt. What's her name? Kirby Howell Baptiste is Death. Let's see, looking at this. Jolie Richardson is in it. David Thewlis, never pronounce his name, is in it. Stephen Fry is Gilbert, and yeah, Patton Oswalt. So there's a few of them in here. Cool beans. Anything else?
Nope.
Cool. Then let's get to this movie. This week, we decided to watch, or I decided to watch, and I'm sorry that I forced this upon you all. Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder has come back to the zombie genre, which made him famous with Dawn of the Dead. So this movie, let's see, there's a zombie outbreak, and there's two types of zombies in this movie: the quick, and then the dumb.
The dead.
I was gonna say the quick and cunning, and then the dumb.
Yeah, and the dead. And so a businessman hires Dave Bautista and a few others to go inside Las Vegas, which has been quarantined or boxed out due to the zombie outbreak inside of Las Vegas, to steal $250 million. I think this is his money, isn't it? Isn't this his money? Okay, so he wants his money back, and he hires a team of people to go into Las Vegas with all these zombies to steal or to bring back his $250 million. And then zombie stuff ensues. So I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna spoil this movie.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us super enjoyed the film, and it's a zombie movie, so I'm sorry if you're gonna get spoiled by zombies movie stuff. There's nothing crazy in this film.
Which to your point, Matt?
Do we want to give our ratings real quick?
Just I'm dropping a deuce.
Yeah.
I'm dropping a deuce on this. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is 2 out of 10 for me. I went into this movie very hyped because I love Dawn of the Dead. I respect George Romero, and I loved the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I thought it was a very interesting way of remaking the film and keeping it a little fresh. However, this movie is dumb from the get-go. Like, I don't understand any type, like Matt, you talk about it all the time. These people make stupid choices throughout this whole film. And I'm just like, this is 2 hours and 20 some odd minutes that I'm never gonna get back. And all they do is like make these stupid choices. Okay. So they hire Dave Bautista to go steal his own money. Okay. And so he goes around this like refugee camp, like hiring these people. Okay. And then his daughter decides that she wants to go because her friend has somehow got into Las Vegas. And do we not see this as a bad choice from the get-go? Like, come on. We know this is going to play out later in the movie, and it's going to be bad and everything. And so, like, later on in the movie, she runs off. And as soon as that moment happens, like, everything goes to crap. Okay? Literally everything. And then, like, it doesn't pay off. Like, nothing in this movie pays off. They don't get the money. Money goes up in flames because of a helicopter crash. The person that the daughter runs off to go save dies in the helicopter crash. Okay. Dave Bautista dies in a helicopter crash, essentially. And then the one guy that kind of survives this is now like leading off to Mexico City, who is now a zombie. I watched the end of this movie and I was like, are you serious? None of this was accomplished. Every single trope was just kind of like pinpointed. The the shady guy decides to backstab the whole group. Duh. Like we didn't see that coming. Yep. Sorry to ruin it.
Everyone in the group sees it coming too.
Yeah. Why didn't we shoot this guy? I mean, we took the one cop because he was bait. Okay, shoot them both. Like we know that this guy is kind of shady. Shoot them both. Here's two of them. Do whatever you want with it. I don't care. And what is with like this, like these zombies, like a part of the Urukai? Like, are we Lord of the Rings characters now? What is this? I was so flabbergasted. And then to get into like the technical part of this, he's Zack Snyder is like the director of photography for this movie. Which blows my mind. Blows my mind. Because there are parts of this movie where he focuses solely on one person, and then everything else in the background is so out of focus. It was like watching somebody on those Zoom calls that are just like are in, and then like the background is all because you don't want to see what's behind them, and then it flip-flops back and forth. The only good thing about this movie is that it wasn't solely highly contrasted. That was it.
This is one of the best reviews from Clint in a long time. Not to say that your reviews suck, but I don't know why I find pleasure in this one.
I agree. We've each had our chance to rant. We've had some long-winded rants lately, and I feel like you haven't gotten a chance to have a long-winded rant.
It's like it brings out your passion, man. Sometimes.
I was so looking forward to this movie. I was like, cool, Zack Snyder and zombies, and like we got the Snyder cut from the Justice League, and it was like, okay, that was kind of good, sort of.
If nobody cares, I'll go next because
I care.
Okay, if you want to go, I was like, if you really do care. Oh man, here comes Ryan's rant. He's passionate now.
No.
Alex always goes next.
One way or the other for this movie. I don't care.
Okay, so I probably am the best review of us all, and even I didn't think it was that great. I think I'm gonna give this a 6. I tend to give my reviews, my ratings, and then I'm like, I kind of want to know what IMDb says, and sure enough, 6. So I'm like, I meet everybody's expectations too. What's up, Brian?
I do want to point out that this film had a 7.5 the day it premiered and went down to a 6.0 in 2 days, which for IMDb users is really steep.
Yeah. So
it wasn't like 75 people rated this. It was like a good couple hundred people rated it, and then a couple hundred more people rated it, and it's tanked. Continue.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So see, that's weird. I don't understand how you can like this. I don't know. Maybe it's more evident in Clint's review that you can love it or absolutely hate this movie. I don't know. I thought it was a middle of the road kind of movie. A lot of plot points were like they didn't make sense. Like the payoff is weird. This movie felt like a journey of 2 different halves. I kind of liked the first half where it kind of felt like Suicide Squad. The new one, not the old one. And it just it blended in with a couple other things I had in mind at the time, but I can't remember. So I didn't hate it, but then I thought the second half just kind of bogged down. It was just kind of this things were held too long, scenes were taking too many minutes of screen time, and it just after a while it's like, okay, we got this. This probably did not need to be too. They probably could have shaved off a good half hour of this, in my opinion. One of the best things I thought about this movie was the song licensing. Really good in this. I liked a lot of it. The covers of a lot of classic songs were, I think, really well placed and just really good choices in general. I thought the ending was dumb, not dumb per se. I was like I said, it was just kind of not worth the journey. Nothing pans out. Like you said, Clint, these choices are made and things are dumb. Why didn't you shoot this guy to begin with? Performance wise, I thought it was all right. Dave Bautista is fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody overacts or acts oddly or out of place. Um, it's kind of just all right. Would I watch it again? Probably not. No. I'm good. This is too long of a movie for that kind of payoff. I kind of dug the whole. No, I'm not as. I don't. I have not seen as many movies as you guys, so I know that this is similar in tone than other movies. But like, I kind of dug how it kind of they were kind of like White Walkers, but they were zombies. Like they had their own colony, and it was they described it as their kingdom, and not like they were trapped here. And they're not just mindless beings who are just running around trying to eat people. At least not all of them. You know, they have a king and a queen per se. Um, I thought the zombie like um child, the baby, the little fetus, that was a little weird. I had the I had that thought in my brain that that's what the case was earlier, you know, because he's just the king zombie, I don't know what you want to call him, is just like giving that gesture of like there is a child, and then like I forgot about it later, and then once her body's retrieved, you see it, and he's like, my child, basically. And I don't know, it's just I thought about it, like it made sense at first. I was like, okay, that's an interesting plot point, and then when it actually happened, I was like, that's weird. Please don't do that again. I was like, that this movie was filled with a lot of stuff like that. Six. Will I watch it ever again? No. Would I recommend it? You know, and I think a 6 is actually a pretty good feat for me because I personally have thought for a long time that the zombie genre has been very played out in my brain. I mean, I just we've seen it way too much in my opinion, and I'm just like, okay, we get it. This is such a popular genre. So I think a 6 personally for me is actually pretty decent. Um, so watch it if you got an afternoon to kill and you just got absolutely nothing to do, but it's not the best thing ever. So 6. Who's next?
I don't know. Do you want to go around or do you want me to go?
If you want, I can go. I will try not to steal the nitpicky plot holes that I know you'll really enjoy talking about.
Well, I would rather you go, so then I can just pick up anything that
Okay.
that I have thought of that you don't say.
Okay.
So we'll see.
So for me, there was a good bit I liked in this movie. I'm just going to kind of speak generally about it first. I put it on, and the runtime was not a problem for me. And I thought it was honestly, I mean, I thought it was a brisk 2.5 hours. But I really enjoy long movies, so that might be something that I'm just kind of more acclimatized to. So it's just kind of settling in. And at one point, I was like, I am enjoying this so much less than when it began. And that point just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And so I started it like at a solid, like the opening credit sequence. I thought it was incredible. I love the way they incorporate the backstory, the tone, the pacing, the characters, all in one big Viva Las Vegas opening. That was a good way to do it. It wasn't trying to be too dark comedy like Zombieland. And it's just kind of all slowly downhill from there to right at the end when it just kind of trips and falls. And I think it just kind of, I think this movie ultimately just, I mean, I feel like I'm skipping to the end of the review, my review here. I feel like it just depends on what you want in the movie. If you are fine watching a 2.5 hour movie and you just don't care about things like consequences of character reactions, little plot holes of, if you're just in it to watch a 2.5 hour zombie movie, then it's not a bad time. It's still got a dumb ending. I don't think anybody could argue that the ending's great. Honestly, Alex, you said it was dumb, and then you changed the word for it. No, dumb is a good way to define the ending of this. The rest of the enjoyment, I think, just depends on how much you want to read into it. If you want to watch the scene where they're sending zombies across the hallway to trigger traps, and you say this is a really funny scene, you're right. If you say just take a body and throw it down the hallway, you're also right. And your enjoyment will depend on things like that. As soon as it started, I was like, take a body and throw it down the hallway. You don't need to be going up and catching zombies. It's a funny sequence. But that's just kind of when I started realizing that this movie is just full of holes. And if that bothers you, you will not enjoy this movie. It'll just slowly get worse and worse robot zombies,
Yeah.
character traits. The guy
God.
with the saw, it's like his character trait. Do we get to see him use it? No. And freaking and the one of the biggest problems with this is that it does come on the post other zombie movies, so it feels like it has to be self-aware. Let's point out that the suspicious guy is suspicious. Let's point it out again. Let's point it out again. Let's point it out again. He betrayed the group. What? And everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You idiots!" Three people pointed it out. Like the girl points it out, gets left behind, isn't dead. They all just stand there and let her die, and she doesn't say, "Don't trust him," while she's dying. She's just like, "Go, run," and they all just stand there like idiots. Then the next guy's like, "I don't trust you." Nothing happens, and then the pilot is like, "So I know," and I give so much credit to that actress. First off, last minute replacement, really well integrated into that movie. There was like one shot where I was like, "That's digital face replacement. She's the CGI character," but so subtly put in. Most of the time, there's a couple scenes where it's like shots of her, shots of everyone else, shots of her, shots of everyone else, and I was like, "That's fair." But really great job. I'd give an entire point back just for her performance. But where she's like, "Can we leave this guy for dead?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you should leave this guy for dead, because obviously he's not going to give you any more information. You're stealing from a guy who owns the thing, and he doesn't even tell you how to get into his own vault. So you have to do a heist for somebody that owns the thing that you're stealing. Just give him like the combination. I don't know if, but anyway, yeah. So I did enjoy quite a bit of this movie. Robot zombies aside, I think there's fun to be had. And my favorite thing about it, I like the way it kind of pays tribute to other zombie movies.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, and it does it subtly too. I like your zombie class system. I like that you've got your like bottom of the line Romero zombies, and then you've got your Danny Boyle zombies, and then you've got your Omega Man. I can't remember the author of Omega Man zombies. Your I Am Legend, smarter than everybody else zombies.
Yeah, right.
And that system was genuinely interesting to me. You got your zombie tiger, pretty cool. Your alpha zombie who is smart enough to wear a helmet. I also thought Urukai, but I was like, at least he's smart. Everybody else is like, let's just get shot in the head. So many headshots in this movie. I like also how if you shoot a zombie in the head, his head just explodes. But if you shoot a main character, you get a nice little bullet.
You know, it's funny how you were like, he doesn't tell them how to get into his own vault. And then I totally, like, I know there was some type of reveal of he didn't actually need this money. And I'm just like, wait, what? I forget why he even said that. Like, what was the whole point of the entire thing? Was it just to get rid of people?
Well, see, he needs like a zombie head, but then the trader gets the zombie head and then continues the heist. And I'm like, go leave. Like, you're outside. There aren't any zombies around. Just leave.
Yeah, I know, and they're pretty obviously not aware of when a character leaves. So it's not like he can just be like, "Oh man, they're totally gonna notice that I'm missing, bro. Just go, yeah, just go away."
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Clint, what you said too is everything that feels like it's building up to something in this movie is not building up to anything at all. There's characters that are there just to die. All the likable characters die. All the other characters just die. The one character who everything is her fault, she's the only survivor. What the heck?
Yeah.
So, I mean, ultimately, there were a couple smart decisions. I've heard some people criticize the end of the coyote. Oh, that was a pretty great scene. People were like, why can't she just get on the helicopter? But then later you see the zombie like deck it across the roof and jump on that helicopter. So there's a couple great moments, and I think overall, I don't know, I enjoyed the first half enough to warrant a 5, but I'm not sure if 5 is worth watching or not.
All right.
And again, robot zombies. Why the heck are there robot zombies?
I love this movie now because it's just a rage feel for everybody now. But Matt, you can go.
No, I love zombie movies. I love Dawn of the Dead. This movie is not the Dawn, and I say Dawn of the Dead, I mean Snyder's remake. That movie is raw. That movie is visceral, and you can see the difference between the two opening credit sequences between both films. This movie is more like, Batista's 11 meets Dead Rising.
Right.
That's what this is. This is basically him going, all right, man, let's make a heist movie, but make it like a video game. And every cool idea that he had, he put in this movie. It's like, oh man, what if we had like, we're in Vegas, right? What if one of those tigers becomes a zombie? Yep, put it in the movie. Oh man, should we have like a smart zombie? Yeah, man, put it in the movie. We should have a lot of smart zombies. Let's put it in the movie. You want slow zombies? Yeah, put it in the movie. Fast zombies?
man, we gotta put
it in the
baby
movie.
zombies.
Oh, you say baby zombies? Put it in the movie. Putting it in the movie, guys. Everything's getting put in this movie. What do you want? You want guns?
Robot zombies.
Well, robot zombies? Put it in the movie. We're putting it in the movie, guys. You want a zombie horse? Put it in the movie. Let's just put it in the movie, man. You want guns? Put it in the movie. You want chainsaws? Put it in the movie. You want a saw that some guy can hammer around? Put it in the movie, man. We're putting it in the movie.
But can we have the shallowest depth of field ever?
Yes, put it in the movie. If that's what you want, we're gonna put it in this movie. No. And here's the thing. I made fun of the runtime. 2 hours and what, 23, 27 minutes, something like that. I'm actually a proponent that this should have been longer, if not a mini series. I think they could have easily stretched this out 4 hours and made better decisions. Mm-hmm. Albeit aside, this movie, I loved the first half. Like, not maybe the first half, maybe the first third, the getting the team together, the title sequence at the beginning, everything up until they get inside and then start making stupid decisions. As Ryan said, these people are self-aware. We've seen zombie movies. They've lived in the zombie world for a while. Why is everyone going into this zombie world wearing short sleeves and like vests and no helmets, no nothing? Put on some armor, put on some protection, guys. Simple enough. Why are you walking in between all these zombies with no gear on that's going to help you not get bit? Simple enough. Everyone in this film also, like Ryan said, A+ marksman. We're getting shot in the head. I don't think anyone misses. They might have missed a couple times when they dodged. They didn't miss the zombie dodged bullets.
Parkour zombie.
Yeah.
Put it in the movie.
Put it in the movie, guys. Put it in this movie. This movie fought me for a long time because at the beginning, I never reached 6 territory, but I really wanted to give it a 5. And I was going to give it a 5 until the last 45 minutes, in which case it kept hitting me over the head over and over again with dumb points, dumb decisions, and a dumb ending. And so I went down to a 4, and I even really want to go to a 3, but it's a fun movie in certain aspects. So a 4 is where I'm sitting. Here's also what I hate. That plane crash, or that helicopter crash, mind you. Poor Kobe Bryant staring down from heaven. Nobody could survive that crash. And this girl walks out like nothing happened. This plane just exploded on the ground. And she's like, oh, I'm okay. I'm like, no.
Well, maybe she's also a zombie because
she could. She could
one
be
guy
a zombie.
survives like a solid 2.5 hours of walking around Las Vegas, stealing a car, going to an airport, getting on a plane, and he's like, oh, oops.
How did he get out of his safe anyway? The guy gets locked in an impenetrable safe, but somehow after a nuke blows up, he's like, oh man, I'm out. Like, really? A, how did you get out of the safe? And B, shouldn't you have like some radiation poisoning right now, sir? You're in like the middle of ground zero. How are you making it to an airport? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Also, if your main zombie guy has the wherewithal to wear a helmet, which he takes off for whatever reason to have a hand-to-hand combat with a guy, which is the dumbest idea ever, and then he magically puts it back on. Like, shouldn't you be making helmets for the rest of your crew? Shouldn't you be like, hey guys, check this out. We're all kind of smart here. Put on helmets, dude. It'll help us all out. Nobody can shoot me in the head. I don't understand. The zombie was smart, but not smart enough for that. And also, you brought up the baby. Alex, are these zombies banging? Is that what's going on?
Apparently.
Is that what's happening? Are we making a zombie race? Is that what's going on?
I was like, oh, this is entering my mind. I wish it wasn't.
Or was she already pregnant to begin with, and that's just like a magical zombie baby? I need to know these answers, man. I need to know. They didn't show me that. Luckily, the zombie sex did not make it into the movie. So I'm sure someone suggested that, and they're like, "No, man, that's weird."
That was finally the line. What do you mean, zombie sex? No.
That's magically the line. That's the line right there. That was the line.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, and then we've got Dave Bautista. And I mentioned this before. I guess to make him like humble and more of a family man, you have him put on his glasses, to help him see. But when it's zombie fighting mode, those glasses come off. He's got to look like a badass. And you can't look like a badass wearing glasses, apparently. Albeit, you'd think it would probably help him shoot better. But no, man, he doesn't need any help. He hits 100% of his targets 100,000% of the time.
Yeah, man. Did you ever see Stuber?
Yeah.
Stuber. Horrible movie.
Yeah, I just couldn't with the last half of this movie. I kind of wish it was longer. I did really dig on that one chick, that the first one that dies in the group, or the second one technically. She might be the first one that dies in the group.
The chick with the headband.
Yeah, that's completely an homage to the what's her face from Aliens. I'm pretty sure, because that
Vasquez.
totally looks Vasquez.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally Vasquez vibes going on right now. That was dope. I enjoyed that scene. Even though that's really weird that they had to sneak through all these zombies that just, once they got to this other hotel, I guess most of the zombies disappeared. They were all congregated in this one place. And then when they're in their new hotel, there's no zombies really around at all, which was a little weird to me. My biggest thing that I enjoyed, and Ryan, you mentioned this, and you didn't say her name, Tig Notaro was probably, thank you, Chris D'Elia. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, for getting harassment issues and allegations against him, because her replacement of him in this movie makes that character infinitely better, I think. And it's funny and it works better. And I appreciate that. So thank you, sir. And thank you, Netflix, for paying for that to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I don't want to go to a 3, 4 out of 10. I would say, even if you like zombie movies and, the end's going to be frustrating, this is probably a discount Tuesday film, at least a red box, I think, just to see it on the big screen. Yes. Just for that title sequence at the beginning. But yeah, that's my little rant, and I'm good.
Watch it until you hate it, and then you're done.
Also, if anybody was wondering, because I thought about this too, I'm like, if the guy's whole point, or the Asian guy's point, is to go in and get the head of that alpha zombie, if like that's the whole thing, why doesn't he just tell the crew that? Like, why don't they just go in and grab that? Like, that's the one thing. You just have to kill the first zombie that you see, and then you can walk back out. Done. We're good. But then I was like, but I guess
the heist movie though.
Yeah, but I guess he's also like super. He wants his money too. So it's like, if I can have my cake and eat it too, you get me that head, and you also get me my money for free. You're going in there anyway. So that was interesting, I thought.
By the way, how much does $200 million weigh?
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, they're not going to be able to carry this crap.
Oh, you bring that up. That didn't bug me as much as when they're in the helicopter, and they're like, we got to go find my daughter. And they're like, how much time till the bomb goes off? 9 minutes. And I'm like, that's not enough time, bro, at all.
It's like maybe enough time to land.
I'm like, 9 minutes? You better say bye to your daughter, and you better fly away right now. Like, literally in the script, they could put any amount of time right there. Like, why did they settle on 9 minutes? Does it sync up with like how much runtime is in the movie between like when they announce it's an hour and a half to it's 9 minutes? Literally say we got 20 minutes. 20 minutes seems like a short amount of time, but almost doable. 9 minutes sounds like, no, you're gonna die in this explosion. Don't land and try to find somebody that you don't even know where she's at. It's so dumb.
Well, but see, that was what frustrated me. It was like he was like, well, she has to be at this hotel.
And
how?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that? Like there's like a million like casino hotels in all of Las Vegas, and he just like picks this one out of his butt. Like, it's like, yeah, she's got to be here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I,
that's really vague.
I'm gonna jump on that too because they were at whatever place when they were getting I don't know, attacked and whatever by that alpha zombie, and then he's like, "Go over here. This is where she is. She's at the Olympia or the Olympic, whatever." And they rescue. He's going in, trying to find her, and then all of a sudden, the alpha guy's there too. I'm like, I know y'all are zombies and y'all have abilities and everything. How did you get there that quick? I mean,
there's probably two of them. He's got a twin. Twin zombies. Put it in the movie.
Oh man, do I have the sudden craving for double mint gum?
Yeah. Look, I think Ryan had the best thing for me this week is like he was watching. We were talking about it last week, and he had that look on his face when he kept going through the women in the window. I was going through this movie like, cool, and I was like, what? Okay, that was it. That was it. And by the way, he needed a vial of her blood. He needed a vial of an.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember that.
All he needed, but he wanted the whole head. Okay, and if I was that coyote, I would have been like, "Yeah, you're off your rocker, buddy." And then like I'm gonna go back and tell the group, be like, "This guy's off his rocker. He just took a whole head." Like that's kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah, and not to mention the plan would have gone smoothly. They would have gotten the money and taken off scot-free had he not gone out and like not had her be quiet as he lopped off this second most important zombie's head. Like they would have been at scot-free with all their money. But no.
You know what, too?
No.
There's a clever way to do that where you can have the daughter exit the way she did, and like the hand that she used to prop it breaks, so it still locks them in, and then they get back with the evil guy, and she's like, "Hey, shoot this guy," and they shoot him, and they still have their tough situation, but we've got some smart decisions being made undone by chance instead of stupidity.
Right.
And I kept comparing this film in my head to Alien Covenant because hang on, you gotta let me finish. I really like Alien Covenant. Now I know that's a controversial opinion because it is also full of stupid decisions, but I think that movie does an acceptable job at laying out that the characters aren't smart and that things can happen that are outside the character's control every once in a while. And I think it's justifiable enough to make the movie happen because a movie's got a movie. Plus, that movie looks great. This movie looks terrible. And this movie just never gets that justification across in any way. Every character has the power to change situations. And it's just... That's one of those times where I just can't finish the sentence.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to get some more positives. I enjoyed Tom Hulkenberg's score, and Alex, I'm with you. I liked some of the music. It was a little too loud. The mixing wasn't perfect, but it's a Snyder film.
That's fine.
So
yeah,
I enjoyed. Like I kind of had mixed feelings with the licensing of the movie. I know Alex really liked it, and I kind of really liked it. It was a little too on the nose though. Sometimes I'm like, all right.
I knew somebody was gonna say that. Like
Do you mean the song at the end that talks about zombies?
Yeah, I maybe I'm just a sucker for like decent covers of songs and like don't really care on their placement. But I knew somebody was gonna say that, because he's walking out and it's just going zombie. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay. I know somebody's gonna.
I'm like, it's clever and fun if you do it like once or twice. But if you do it like every chance, and I'm like, well, this song's about blood, this song's about zombies, this song's about killing, this song, I'm like, all right, man.
Las Vegas.
The song's like Las Vegas. I'm like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, that would be like my editing style. I know if I was a film editor or if I was in charge of sound, I would probably be going that way. Like that's how I would do it.
You make a really good point, Alex, because as much as I didn't hate this movie, and I won't change my rating saying this, it feels very much like somebody said, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. And I'll be honest, if I made this movie, I'd probably make it a lot like this. I'm not Zack Snyder.
Wait, you're not?
So the fact that it's shot, I mean, I don't know. It's going to sound a little too harsh. and I do have some respect for Zack Snyder because he is somebody who can make movies he wants to make, and most of the time they get released the way he wants to make them. And I love a couple of Zack Snyder films, just a couple of them. But why is he shooting this like a first-year film grad? Like it's put together, it's shot and put together with just a total lack of self-control.
You know, maybe that's why I was at first giving it praise for being, because you know we all know the Zack Snyder's kind of staples to his film editing and direction. And this has a couple of those moments with, like, you know, towards the end with Dave Bautista, he's shooting his gun and that, you know, kind of slow motion. But for the most part, I didn't feel like I was watching a Zack Snyder film, but maybe that's because the editing was so poor. I don't know. Maybe I didn't think about it as much. I at first was like, oh, you know what? He's doing a good job of making it seem like it's not him, even though that sounds like a bad thing. So it's like with voice acting. I think most voice actors try to make their work like they don't want it to seem like it's them every single time. Like they don't want people to be going, oh, that's Nolan North, that's Troy Baker, that's, you know, they want to sound different, but at the same time, you know, it's like it's hard to escape that.
Well, you guys are making fun of. I didn't realize he was the director of photography of this film until you mentioned it, Clint. And it's really weird that you bring that up and we're making fun of how we shot this movie, because there's one scene, and this is probably the only scene where the background is actually in focus and the foreground is soft. There's an ad in the background of like an act, and you can tell the way that the scene is shot that he's focusing on this ad that's in the background of like so and so, the amazing so and so appearing live in Las Vegas. I'm like, this has to be like an Easter egg for something. So I googled it, and I guess it's his, like, the guy, I can't remember his name, but he's apparently it's his usual director of photography that's been in like 4 of his other movies. And I was like, oh, so you got this little homage in here because you didn't want to give him a job for this one.
He's not, Zach, can I be part of this? No, but I'll do a shout out for you.
You're a good guy. Thanks.
Alex, you do make a really good point though, Alex. I mean, and I think this is a good example of why you lean on other people. You know, when you've got a film and you've made a decent career of your style, but also playing well with others. And it feels like he got burned on a studio film, which he definitely did, and wanted to do it everything his way. And
oh yeah,
we saw George Lucas do that.
Yeah, and look what happened. Well, I think that goes to like Matt's point. I think that he literally wrote this movie out. He went to started shopping around. Netflix was like, hey, we'll take it. And he's like, are you gonna like let me do my thing? And they're like, yeah, why not? Like, cool.
Yeah, like, what are you talking to? We're Netflix. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, let the dice fly, man. Like, do whatever you gotta do. And he was like, cool. And then he was like, shut his door, and he wrote out all this movie, and like he filmed it and everything. And Netflix was like, this is what you want to put out? And he's like, yeah, this is it. And he's like, they're like, cool, all right, let's go.
They're like, wait, where's the Snyder cut of this?
Well, it's really funny you mention this. I think Netflix really does kind of have that Blumhouse like approach to things these days. They're like, tell me what you got, and they're like, oh, all right, that sounds good, here's your money, make it, do whatever you want, just make it, we'll be fine. So, and that's what they did, and this is what we got.
We'll get subscribers anyway. Just go ahead and lay it out there. Anyway.
Also, it's kind of weird. I feel like this was the first zombie movie I've ever seen where nobody gets ripped apart. Right?
I was waiting for that. I thought that was going to happen too.
Like, you don't get the usual, like, all the fake guts. And I'm like, people die and people kind of get, like, crowded. But there's no, like, limbs getting torn off.
Yeah.
I think the most graphic scene...
The tiger.
Yeah, I was going to say ripping the
But I
thought
the best death in this, or the best kill scene, was probably his girlfriend, or the one where it's like, she's like, all right, let's go do it, and then doom. And I was like, oh, that's probably the best, like the awesomest part of this film, just the way it's set up. Yeah, because no one gets ripped apart.
That definitely was. Though her involvement built to that scene.
Yeah.
Like, it's like no point in having that character in the film other than that scene. That probably was the best moment in the movie.
I wholeheartedly agree, because they kind of just threw that whole we had a history kind of dynamic together, just kind of out of nowhere. Like I don't know about you guys, but I don't get that vibe from any other point before that in the movie. And it's like, oh man, we totally love each other, and I hate that you blah blah blah. All right, we meant it a thing. Like, well, okay.
I kind of like that when she brings it up, he's like, what are you talking about? And then they go through the scene where he's like, oh, let me rethink our relationship.
Yeah, right.
What is Dave Bautista doing with his life that he's obviously oblivious to every relationship around him?
He's bad father, bad husband, bad boyfriend.
He sits in his diner all day flipping burgers, just thinking everyone hates him for whatever reason. He's like, God, I suck.
Maybe it's because he's not wearing his glasses all the time.
And wait, hold on. I just thought about this. So they're like, all right, let's put our team together. All right, there's this guy on Reddit who shoots zombies all the time. Let's go recruit him. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then the guy shows up to, the planning, and he's like, yeah, I brought these 2 people with me. And then the guy's like, wait, this is about zombies? Screw this. I'm out of here. I'm like, wait, what? You wouldn't know this was about zombies to begin with? You hang out with a dude that shoots zombies all the time. What's going on here?
I thought that too. I was like, wait, dude, this guy has a YouTube channel of literally killing zombies, and you're his friend? How do you not put that together? That is one of the single-handedly most dumbest parts in the movie.
I like to imagine that character actually goes in and has a whole scene inside, but the actor was like, wait, what are we doing? No, man, I'm not doing this role. And then just left. And they're like, we're keeping this in the movie. I really thought they were going to kill him, though. Literally, I thought they were like, that was the whole point of him turning around, is that we can't have anybody knowing about this plan and leaving. I thought that's what they were going to do. But no, that didn't happen. They just let him walk out.
There was another little detail that I liked. Now that we're talking about little things, they go into the vault kind of room the first time, and they shoot all the zombies, and they cut to the door twice, and there's obviously a zombie in the corner, and that zombie jumps at them, and I'm like, one, check your corners. But at least the movie includes that. It's not like nobody in the corner, zombie. It's like, yep, check your corner, hey, turn around, oh yep, there's the zombie that I was watching. So I like that little that's what the movie needed throughout, is facing the repercussions for a lack of action in a realistic way, not just.
But can we also take a moment to reflect on, this might be even more out of left field than the zombie baby, but the time where they discover the people that have been trying to crack open the safe, and they're like, this could have been us from a different timeline.
The time travel.
And they are all wearing the same clothes and shit. And I'm like, wait, what? What is going on? And then they never touched on it again.
Yeah.
It never gets mentioned again. And I'm like, wait, what? What is going on here? Is this real?
Can we hypothesize about the time traveling heist movie with the robot zombies in it?
Ooh, yeah. Yep, it's in the movie, man. We got to put time travel in the movie.
Matt, I really want to see this 4-hour miniseries now. I really want to see this 4-hour miniseries that starts as, it goes zombie movie, heist movie, time travel movie, finale.
and then Blender.
Oh, that sounds so great, though. I mean, messy, but
it just turns into Live Die Repeat, but with zombie killers over and over again.
Then they've got to beat the heist, survive the zombies, and get out of the time loop.
Yeah, all before the nuke blows them up.
9 minutes.
Man, I'd watch the heck out of that movie. Zack Snyder, if you're watching this, please release the Snyder cut of this movie. Do as many reshoots as you want. Netflix will let you.
Well, who knows? I'm pretty sure I read that he already has an idea for a sequel already. So maybe that's what's going to be happening in said sequel.
Look, there's a prequel series to this.
Yeah.
Army of the Deader.
Yeah, it's a prequel series to show us how the characters end up where they are in the movie, and then the sequel.
Well, hopefully we get to see that guy use his saw as opposed to just in the title sequence, since it's so important to him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't ever touch my saw.
Don't touch my saw. It's the only weapon I use, except when I use this gun all the time.
because I'm gonna carry around this like
you couldn't even. I don't
100
even.
saw.
That's another thing. I don't know where it was. I don't think it was. It wasn't on his back. I don't think he was wearing it on his hip.
No, the coyote had it like as soon
Did
as we
she?
got in the vault because she's cutting open the wall with it.
Okay, so it got
Oh,
used
yeah.
a little bit.
Also, I like how the safecracker thinks that locking someone in a safe and letting them suffocate to death slowly is better than being eaten by a zombie.
I thought that exact same thing. I was like, bro, I'm gonna save you, and no point, because
In the dark.
Even exactly. There's no light in there. Or at least if there is, it's gonna die out quick when that generator runs out of gas. So I thought, because he just made the big stink of, he's like, this has like 2 chances. You already made me lose count on the one. If I lose count on it again, it's gonna lock forever. And then I think that was to play a pivotal role in when I shut you in there, it's big dramatic, but then the bomb does bomb things and somehow damages the safe enough where you can get out, but you don't
die from radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Look, that to me was just basically like the spit in the face from the punch that I just got in the gut from like the ending, the true ending. When that like grate like popped open and I was like, okay, I'm officially done with this movie. Like if he literally walks out and just kind of like strolls out with like this like millions of dollars and then buys a plane. Like who is this like lady that just lets him buy a plane? Let me see what I can do.
Yeah,
What?
right.
Who does that?
I do that.
I'm gonna go to Mexico City, and then we're all gonna drink, and then I'm gonna suddenly feel nauseous on being on this plane for like the last 2-3 hours or whatever I'm on this plane for. Oh no, I'm bit.
Yeah, when he's in the
heaven.
plane bathroom and he's like, he's like, oh man, what? And then he looks and he sees the bite, and he's like staring at the mirror going like, and he's like laughing, in that ironic way. He's just like, oh man, what the heck? And I'm just like, when he did that, I was like, I kind of feel like that's what this movie is to us. Like that's our reaction to having enduring this. Like this crap. I thought that at the exact same moment. I was like, yeah, no.
It was like you said, man. Like she walks off this helicopter crash, and then has to watch him. Like, how is he still kind of like breathing still? Like I know.
She wasn't even wearing a seatbelt. She was just standing there, and the helicopter does this thing after it hits the ground, going 60 miles an hour.
Didn't the pilot? Didn't she get shot in the head?
I think she got shot in like the side, like on the shoulders.
And then helicopter bladed. The daughter was wearing what is it called? The plot armor she picked up in the first act.
Seriously. Like you said,
but
man,
because they did the opening where Batista had to kill a family member, she had to experience the same thing because that's how amateur screenplays work.
Look, I don't know why she's walking around like she's like walking around fine, like she's not limping, nothing, and then shoots him in the head. And like you said, like how does this guy not have radiation poisoning? Like seriously, like everything's burning and nuclearized, and it's just like, well, I got my millions of dollars. I'm gonna go buy me a plane.
So I have a valid question for you guys. Do you think this would have been a better movie if they hadn't gotten out, and everyone would have just died either from zombies or being nuked in the city? If he had done the rescue or tried to do the rescue for his daughter and didn't get out in time and they just die.
Yes.
I want to say yes.
I'm in agreement.
Like not even for comedic purposes. I like in general movie quality, that question, I was like, sometimes that kind of thing where it's like the bad guy, being the zombies, I guess, winning would almost make a good plot for this movie. I agree. I do think it would.
I think it would have been a better movie had he not gone and tried to find his daughter and just left. You make poor decisions, you die. Sorry, deuces.
No, it would probably what probably would have been a better plot is okay. Yeah, he does come to that grips with that. Like, oh, we can't get out of here. I gotta go to the border. Whatever, we gotta get out of here. And the daughter and whoever she's with they're running away from zombies. They're on the main, strip wherever they initially got out, and they're like, I don't know, half the distance between the building and the exit, and they're getting chased down, and he's like, drop me off here, or like let me drop or something, get me down to this level so I can drop, and then does that and then dies from that. That I think would have been a little bit better. I don't know. Something.
Look, my better plot would have happened like 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this movie, where the guy was like, hey, I gotta get my money out of this vault and whatever, and they're gonna nuclearize all of Las Vegas. I would have been like, I'll wait until after the nuke.
Yeah, because
I'll get your money after that.
Yeah, I know, because apparently anything inside a safe can survive a nuke. So
and then a magic door opens.
Yeah, and we have not even talked about one of the major plot points in this film is they had 4 days between when the heist was starting and when this nuke was about to hit. And then all of a sudden the government's like, we're going to move it up, about 2 days. Yeah. Just, because.
Well, you know how impulsive those nuclear weapon strikes can be.
We need to get rid of these zombies, and we got to get rid of them now, guys. So we're gonna crank this thing into high gear.
This is not to continue to nitpick. This also bugged me a little bit because you have the black guy and you have the safe cracker, and they obviously have this relationship that seemingly forms while they're in this tunnel for an hour and a half, and they bond and they're really great friends after this hour and a half. Why can't you just have them know each other? Why does Dave Bautista have to be the one that goes around and finds everybody? Why can't Dave Bautista be like, we need a safecracker? And the guy's like, I know a guy. He's my friend. And then they go and find this. And then you have like a better connection of people.
Right.
It doesn't make it was dumb. Not to mention
he's Batman.
Because he's Batman. Not to mention, I'm glad the ultimate safecracker in the world lives in this little village outside of Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It's so convenient that all these people just happen to be in Vegas at the same time.
That was a thing that bugged me about this movie. You can tell when sets feel very, for lack of a better word, like enclosed. Like there didn't seem to be a whole lot of variety. Like you felt like you were in very short spaces. Like there's the diner, there's outside of the main area, and then there's Las Vegas. That's it. And then who else thought this too? They showed a radius of what the nuke would cover as far as damage goes, and at no point, maybe they evacuated them out before, but I was like, aren't the people around Las Vegas too in the tents? Aren't they gonna get affected by this too? Nobody talks about this.
They brought the bus, and he was like, "This is the last bus out." And I'm like, "Why did the friend go in to get money if they're just gonna get buses out of the area anyway? Like they're gonna evacuate everybody. There's no point in going to get money so you can leave.
So I can leave a day early. I need to risk.
They were just gonna take him out in the desert, Ryan, and just leave him there.
I like. Apparently, you can just walk around and find a car to steal out in the desert too. I like how the U.S. Says that Las Vegas is no longer part of the U.S. As if the rest of the world was like, "What did you do?" And they were like, "Huh, not us." And then they nuke it, which is that like terrorism if you nuke something that's not it's a city of zombies and you just destroy it? Come on, that's not even part of the U.S.
Yeah, well, the military isn't really, or the government isn't really that smart to begin with, i.e. the beginning of the movie when they're like, we have the most dangerous thing on the planet. Let's transport it. And then our transport is going to get taken out by a guy who's, receiving some stuff in a car. I'm like, really? You didn't have anybody in front to protect it. We're not doing anything. We're just going to let this. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. and you don't see the light exposure on the guy you're looking at's face and go,
Thank you.
oh,
I
there's
was
a car.
literally just thinking that too. I was like, did neither one of these know the headlights and like your face? Like even the guy driving the car, like the groom.
Yeah.
Man, those are bright. Maybe I should take a look at this.
He
Or
was
the
just
guy
enjoying his
talking.
honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that girl's mouth didn't like close when that
Oh,
thing hit.
jeez. That's nasty.
I'm gonna nitpick some more things and just segue right on to. I like how their armored truck can just flip on its side and open. And I like how everyone in the movie gets headshots except for the military, who's like, "Oh, body shots." I'm like, "It's a zombie. Shoot it in the head."
Where were they transporting it even to?
Area 52.
They wanted to gamble. They wanted to see if this guy knew how to gamble.
This is almost why I love this movie. It's because of all the rage and all the nitpicky fuel that it induces.
All right. We're going to wrap this up.
We haven't talked about this movie long enough yet.
Yeah, we almost talked
squeeze
about
out
it
of
longer than the film itself.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll go to page 7 of the script.
Dave Bautista flipping burgers for no reason.
Oh, cool.
My daughter hates me because I shot her mom in the head.
No, I hate you, Dad, because you don't talk to me.
What's that? Any final
Stupid movie.
thoughts?
Nope.
Any final thoughts on
This movie
Army of
deserves
the
a
Dead?
3 for me, but it's still a 4. I don't care. It's
Did
a
we
4.
talk about robot zombies and time travel already?
Yeah.
I'm good then.
All right. Yeah. Well, not covered the robot zombies, but we'll talk about that later.
Somebody say robot zombies? We're putting it in the movie, guys. We're putting it in the movie.
This is Netflix. Write a check. Robot zombies. All right. We got to pay for robot zombies.
Love, death, and robot zombies.
Yeah, right. Zack Snyder said that he wants a CGI tiger. All right. We're going to check that too.
Oh, you know what? Okay, you know what? I had one detail that I absolutely loved about this movie. Legitimately loved, not sarcastic. Freaking the characteristics of said tiger. I like how Zombie King's like, all right, guys, let's all warm up and go to battle. And the tiger's like, yeah. And they all run towards the building. And the tiger gets on a car. And he's like, oh, no, you guys have fun. And he just goes to like, lays down.
Yeah, right.
I was like, yep, that's a cat.
You guys got this, right? All right.
I don't run with that zombie horse. I'm the only animal here, man. Screw that horse. I'm gonna stay right here.
Eat that horse.
I would have liked to see it rain, though. They were talking about like all the zombies that dried up in the sun and how it'll look all cool when it rains. Cool.
We're not going to show you that. Not even a sprinkler system in a hotel in a lobby. Nothing.
I would love to see a horde of dried out, decrepit zombies all trying to wake up at the same time. That would have been really weird to watch. But nope.
Maybe in the sequel or prequel.
Anyway.
I'm out of things.
All right. Cool. All right. That was Army of the Dead. Coming up next week, we are doing A Quiet Place 2 and or Cruella.
Last
yeah, man. Emma Stone, Emily Blunt. Good stuff. Any last words, guys? Nada? All right. Well, just to let you guys know again that we're on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Amazon Music Podcasts. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment. We like hearing from everybody. Without further ado, then, this meeting is adjourned. See you guys later.